Hey, Michael Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Ronin by Cornslingers Bag Company. Let's go and dive in, break these bags down. Slow side on these bags is a hybrid material. It's the same hybrid material that you find on the slow side of the Viper R, the Reynolds Thunder, AAR Ripper, Lucky, Elite Pro Snipers, the Dragon Bags Power Dragon, Swag Bags Chaos, Killer Bees Armite. I could go down the list. A lot of bags are using this material for good reason. It's a wonderful material. It's very versatile, very player friendly. So we're looking at, it's about a 5.5 speed on the slow side. Plays faster when it's new. As you break it in, soften it up, rough it up, it slows down. But it does play pretty consistent across all conditions. So that's one of the reasons why people like this material, is because of the consistency. So if you play it in an event, a tournament, whatever, where conditions are changing, or you play from an area where humidity kicks in from day to day, it's a bag that you can pull out and play pretty much any conditions. It could stay pretty much around that 5.5 speed for you. So 5.5 speed on the slow side. Fast side, this is that game changer, surefire fast side. It's the same fast side material that's on the Viper R and the AAR Ripper, the Reynolds Thunder, all those bags use it. But this is the back side, or actually, I think this is actually the front side of the material. That other side you see is the back side. This is one of the few bags I've seen so far that actually use this side of the material. It's a little bit more controllable, a touch slower. I call it about an 8.5 speed. For this material here. It's great for push and collecting. It's fast. It slides to the board in conditions. So a wonderful bag for, like I said, most board conditions. You're going to get a bag. Both materials are going to move and slide fairly consistently. This fast side will slow down a touch as it gets really sticky and damp from humidity, but not that much. So 5.5, 8.5 speeds on this bag here. Template wise, it's a medium template bag. Medium template bag, it's got a medium to full, it's on the fuller side of medium for the fill in here, which gives the bag not a lot of, it's got flop, it's not a lot of flop. So it's a fuller feeling version of this bag. So if you've thrown the bags that have this hybrid material on there and you don't like how floppy they get, this Ronin seems to be more on the fuller side. It doesn't quite get as floppy. Now these materials do stretch, especially this hybrid material will stretch. Brand new, it was puffier brand new, but as this thing is broken in, it's gotten some more flop to it, but it's still by no means a floppy bag. Like I said, it's still got a lot of fullness to it. So a lot of you, again, don't like the floppy bag. I've got a lot of requests asking, hey, what's a version of Viper where it's not as floppy, and this Ronin might be what you're looking for there. The fill in here it's 100% flat fill, frankly. I don't feel any beads at all, but it's a mixture of flat fill, I think. It seems to be there. So very forgiving bag. This flat fill, what it does is it helps the bag, it takes away the kick out of the bag. So the bag lands very soft, it flattens out and runs to the board. So if you don't throw the flattest of bags, sometimes these hybrid materials can kick on you. You put that flat fill in, you take that kick out. So again, very forgiving. If you're not a flat bag thrower, you can get away with throwing these Ronins. The downside on that flat fill is, to me, is the hole friendliness. When you add 100% flat fill, you lose a little bit of the hole friendliness. However, both these materials are very hole friendly, and I didn't really feel like there was ever a time these bags were hanging that I didn't think they shouldn't be hanging. And if they are, very collectible. So honestly, the trade-off of you get of gaining a more forgiving landing and losing hole friendliness, I think that the pros outweigh the cons in that situation. So I don't have an issue with the fill. Normally I like a mixed fill, but I didn't find, there was never really a time where I saw this bag, I was like, man, I wish it had more beads in it. I wish it had more bounce. Whatever. I didn't really feel like I needed that here. So I really like the fill mixture that CBC has put in this bags. These bags are also ACO stamped. So if you play an ACO event, you need an ACO stamped bag, you can throw the Rodents in those events. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about playability on these bags. And as I mentioned, it's a very versatile bag. You can get up there, you can easily run hole for hole. You can put these bags in, just go hole for hole, put your 4 bags in, outscore your opponent, go round and round. The bags do really well at that. You can also play a dirty style game. This material has some control to it, especially as you break it in and rough it up. The more you rough it up, the dirtier you get it, the more control you get, the slower it's going to play. And you got the control. You can throw a blocker up there and you can play a dirty style game. And the bags are big enough, full enough. They make wonderful blockers. You get up there, they really take up a lot of space, and then it's pretty easy to collect, right? You're just clipping a corner and taking them in. Because they're not big and floppy, they don't accordion up, so it's really easy to collect. So you can get more aggressive putting that blocker on your opponent's side and then coming down the middle and clipping your bag and taking it in. For me, I'm mostly pushing and collecting on the slow side. The only time I flip it over on the fast side is if I'm trying to go through multiple bags, or if it's my last bag, I want to make sure I push and follow through and not leave a bag there. But honestly, fast side is plenty fast for me. A little bit harder throw or a little deeper landing on the board, and you can take the bags in and collect with that slow side, which is what I like about it. The other thing, because it's a fuller bag, I find it is a little easier to throw those cuts, rolls, flops this bag, even though you don't have a bouncy fill. typically when you put a flat fill in there, the bags get thinner and floppier, and then a floppy bag is just really hard to get it to cut or roll and flop because it just wants to lay and just kind of melts and flattens down. This one does a little bit of that, but I still didn't have a problem throwing cut shots with this. You know, if you're a roll bag thrower or you throw flops a lot, you can definitely do that with this bag. Maybe not the best one to learn on if you're just learning, but if you're an average to above average in those skill levels, you can definitely do it. Like I said, I had no issues with this as far as cuts. It's definitely a better bag for throwing cuts than say something like that Viper R that's larger, floppier type bag. So really the shot shaping ability of this bag was wonderful, which really makes it even more so where I want to throw a blocker every now and then, because now I know I have options to get around it. Leave that blocker there. I can throw a first bag blocker, cut around, or you can roll it or flop it or whatever, and then come down the last bag, clean it up, and really make my opponent deal with that blocker. And because of the collectability, I can get aggressive. Like I said, put that blocker right in their way and really make them work while I can step out and got my lane to get around either side. You know, come over this side, I can step out and come around however I need to do it. And it really gives me those options to play a little bit of a dirty style game, but not put myself in a situation where I feel like I'm risking giving up points, if that makes sense. So all in all, the playability of this is wonderful. It's also great if you play against an opponent who throws blockers and plays a dirty style game, and they're putting blockers up there. And again, after this time, if my opponent's throwing blockers, I don't want to collect their bag for them. I want to make them collect it, because if I keep collecting it, it's just going to keep putting it up there, and I've got to push it, and eventually I'm going to kick off or I'm going to miss, and I'm going to give them points. But if they keep putting blockers and I keep getting in and leaving their bag and they have to collect, eventually they're going to miss that collect, and then they're going to give up points. And the more times they do that, the less likely they are, less confident they are throwing that blocker the next time. So it's in their mind. So they start pulling that blocker more back into their middle or more in their lanes. It's easy for them to collect, and then it becomes an obstacle for them and not so much for me. So a bag like this is wonderful for those opponents who throw blockers, because I've got the option to cut, roll, flop to get around it. I've got the speed on the fast side to push through and clean up if I need to. You know, I can step out, bully into their bag, push it away. So I have tons of options with this bag to get around my opponent's bag. So wonderful for really that dirty style player you're playing against. It's also great if you want to play a dirty style game. For me, this is a bag where I'm playing more of that hybrid style game where I'm running bags in the hole for the most part, but I'll put an occasional blocker up there. Maybe I'll play a dirty round here or there. Maybe I need to manufacture some points I'm getting behind. Maybe I feel like, you know what, it's time to change things up. You can really change it up from round to round and play the style of game you want to, and really keep your opponent off balance from deciding whether you're gonna have a blocker there or you're gonna have an open board, or what they're gonna have to deal with. And that's why I like to keep my opponent guessing. I don't like them settling in a groove and knowing what I'm doing. So this bag's wonderful for that. So if you've been looking to throw a hybrid style material, maybe you haven't, maybe you've thrown some, you don't like how floppy a lot of them are, you're looking for a fuller version of that, definitely check the Ronins out. Even though these are popular materials, this Ronin's kind of a unique bag in the sense that the feel of it, the fullness of it, the way it feels, and then the playability you get with it. I really do like what CBC has done in combining these two materials with the type of fill and the fullness. I think the whole package is a fun bag to throw. I had a great time throwing it. I've had a lot of success with it. It's definitely a bag that I could see a lot of you guys having success with. So check out the Ronin. At least we know availability on that. And CBC has a website, cornslingersbagco.com. Link in the description for you guys. As always, you can go there. The bags, as of this recording, they have bags in stock. They were $80 for a set, and then $9 shipping. It's $89 shipped to you. Phenomenal price, kind of on that medium to low price range for bags. Definitely well worth it. If you haven't tried out a bag from CBC yet, I can't recommend this Ronin enough to you. Go get a set of these, give them a try. Let me know what you think of them. You know, if you've thrown these things, let me know. Feedback, good bag, what you like, what you don't like. Drop a comment down below. Always love hearing your guys' opinions. I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.